It's This Week in Bourbon, and we've got some things hiding. Here's your headlines for November 21st, 2025. Buffalo Trace is doing a pop-up in Mumbai, India. A break-in happened over at Castle Key Distillery, and Rabbit Hole is introducing their Amrûlé release. And before we get started, here is a quick word from our partners. Hey everybody, welcome back. It is a fresh, brand new episode of This Week in Bourbon. I'm Kenny Coleman.
Ryan Cecil here.
And we're here to deliver you the news. We got a lot of cool things that are happening here. And anyway, I want to start this one off because there's a really funny trend. If your wife ever comes to you and asks you, like, what's in your toolbox or something like that, don't fall for it.
Don't fall for it.
You know why? Here's why.
Let's see.
Things that my husband and I have stuck up our butts. Me, nothing.
A lot of things, I guess. Golf clubs probably being the best thing, like literally what I use all the time. Range finders, golf tees, golf balls. I lose a lot of balls too because I literally have to get. Oh my gosh, Callaway needs to send me some more golf balls.
Things that my husband.
So she clips it together, right? It starts off and says, like, things I've stuck up my butt. Me, nothing. My husband. And then they'll ask him something like, tell me, like that one, tell me what's in your golf bag.
Got it.
Tell me what's in your toolbox. Yeah.
So if my wife's asking me a question with her phone, I'm going to be like, nope, not happening.
Yeah. So
sorry, Tiff.
Yeah. So that's the game that they're playing.
I've seen those where it says things I've stuck up my butt, but I haven't like fully engaged with them.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, this is strange.
Yeah, I guess you don't know until you try, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to leave it at that one. All right, well, let's kind of talk about some other things that are happening around us. So a few announcements and things that are happening. The next P Club release, the blend of Ophelia. We've been announcing it.
My tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I came up with some fun lyrics for that one. And if you are one of the people that get our newsletter, then you probably saw our announcement of it. But yeah, this was something that we had kind of conjured up, and it's the first one ever of its kind of being able to create a double oaked rye release of using all the barrels, or like some of the barrels that we have in stock of
4 different barrels.
4 different barrels with different double oaked stave profiles for the rye. And by being able to bring all those together, we created something that was brand new.
Yeah, and it's truly magical. It was one of the more challenging blends I've ever done because our double oak rye as a product is amazing, and so you're trying to find ways like, all right, how do I make it stand out more or be more fruity or spicy? And it's like, and nothing was working, and it took me about 8 or 9 different blends, and then like just was like, that one sucks, then let's take what I liked out of that one, this one, and then finally landed on 4 different ones, and I was like, I think I got some. Then I blinded you all, and you were like, definitely this one. I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about this.
It was unanimous on how we all came together on that one. And this is also kind of going back into the pursuit lore here of what it takes to come up with names. We're usually not as creative, and it takes a weekend of sitting on the couch and just trying to like decompress because we're usually going 100 miles an hour every single day. And
no creativity.
Don't have time to even think about being creative. But I don't know how we kind of got on the topic of Taylor Swift and the fate of Ophelia. And I just said, what about the blend of Ophelia? And they're like, God, that's it.
Yes.
That's it. Didn't
even have to hit the gummy stash this weekend.
It was so easy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was like, usually that never happens. But
yeah, this one's really, really good. Like, I know on paper people are like, oh, it's just a double oak rye blend. But no, this thing really is special. Like, I'm telling you, do not miss out on this one. Like, I'm not tooting my own horn, but it's freaking killer.
It's solid.
Yeah.
It is definitely solid. I'm excited for you all to get your hands on it here as well. So all of the P Club, we should say allocation started this past week on Wednesday, but I will give you another week to sign up for P Club before we go ahead and close it down. So this is your last chance to get it, as well as any other bottles that are part of the Pursuit lineup there. So go check out pursuitspirits.com/P Club.
Makes a great Christmas gift.
It makes an amazing Christmas gift. You can actually gift it to yourself, and then you can buy up to 8 bottles every single quarter, and you can gift those ones out to people.
That's right.
There's so many ways that you can spend this.
Yes.
All right, so let's also talk about some other things on the pursuit side. Is that we are also going to be recruiting some more ambassadors. We still need somebody to take care of San Antonio, Austin, and as well as more people in the Dallas region. And then for Illinois, we do need people in like the Chicago, like the city limits, like in the thick of it. So if you are there, we could really use your help. Now, here's another kind of fun announcement. We are also expanding distribution going into Q1 of next year. We're going into not only just Arizona, we're not only going to Washington, in addition to Nevada, but as well the largest state of drinking per capita, I guess, or not per capita, but the largest populous state around, California.
California love.
Yes.
I'm excited.
We're going to be, we already have some travel that's booked, at least for myself going to California, you going to California.
Yep.
You get SoCal, I get NorCal.
Yeah, I got the
tall
straw.
Yeah, you got the fun one. Not to say there's nothing wrong with I've been to San Francisco more times than I can count with fingers and toes, but SoCal, you get the beaches. I'll take the Bay Area.
I'll be in liquor store closets, not the beach. So, yeah, it's not going to be as romantic as you might think, but super excited. Launching with Pack Edge out there, great distributor. So super excited to get out to the West Coast.
Yes. And then also you're going to be in Phoenix and Tucson. I'm going to be in Reno and Vegas. So
Yes.
we are also at this point, if you have bourbon or whiskey societies in any of these major markets, we want to go and do presentations. We want to get in front of you all. And so this is our way to try and start building up that pipeline of folks that we can get in front of and talk and do whiskey society presentations, or maybe just sit down and hang out with you all. Whatever it is, just shoot us a message, either Kenny or Ryan at pursuitspirits.com.
Yep.
And we're going to start booking our calendars up as soon as we possibly can.
Yeah, I'll be in Phoenix January 13th through the 17th. Oh, sorry, 14th through the 17th.
Did you get that?
14th through the 17th.
There you go.
Yes.
Finally.
So hit me up if you're in the Phoenix area.
Yeah, I was about to say, and I will be, let's see, we've got, where am I going to, I don't even know where I'm going to be.
You're going to Vegas and Reno.
That's right. That's in January. So that's the 20th through the 22nd. And then in February is when we're going to be in California, and that's February 9th through the 13th.
Post Super Bowl.
Yes. So looking forward to it. Again, if you want to get us out to speak to your particular whiskey or bourbon society, please let us know. Shoot us a message.
Let's go.
All right. Let's talk about some industry news. And this one isn't necessarily bourbon news, but I thought this was interesting enough that we should have this on here because we're getting ready to enter the worst part of the year. Some people like to play this game called Dry January, and I'm not all about that. But the European Union's top court in Luxembourg has ruled that non-alcoholic drinks cannot be labeled as something like, quote unquote, gin. The ruling confirms that under EU law, the term gin is strictly reserved for spirit drinks based on ethyl alcohol flavored by juniper berries with a minimum alcoholic beverage content of 37.5%. The judges stated that adding the term non-alcoholic is irrelevant and still constitutes a prohibited use of the legal name. The case was brought by a German unfair competition group against a company selling, quote, virgin gin alcohol for all, but it's obviously, it's not English. I can't really say that. But the ruling is a potential setback for the EU's growing alcohol-free drinks industry, reinforcing EU regulation designed to protect consumers, ensure fair competition, and safeguard the international reputation of spirits.
This is kind of like when almond milk and oat milk, the milk people are like, you can't call it milk.
Can't call it milk.
It doesn't come from a cow. It comes from putting water over nuts. So, so I get it. I mean, yeah, you're like, this is a category gin. This is not gin. It's
it's the same thing that people made non-alcoholic whiskey or non-alcoholic bourbon. It's like, why? Well, first off, why? But second, it's like, you try to, shoehorn it into a category that we're trying to separate ourselves from. And it's like, no, like that's not what it is. It's like we have rules and regulation of what a bourbon should be. To call it non-alcoholic is, I don't know, call it something different. But
yeah, I'm always fascinated. And obviously there's a place for non-alcoholic products, and I'm not saying they shouldn't be there. We definitely need them. It's just fast. I personally would not waste the calories on a non-alcoholic. If I'm going to not drink, I'm drinking water or like a tea. I'm not going to put 20 grams of sugar and something into my body, but whatever.
If I'm not going to drink, it's just going to be Miller Lite.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the way it should be.
That's like Landman, Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to stop. He's like, you need to quit drinking or something. He's like, I have quit drinking. I only drink Miller or Michelob Ultras.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know, but in general, I kind of agree with this. It does kind of dilute whatever it is. It's like, I don't know. It's like you want to steal a name from something because it has traction, and so you kind of ride the coattails with it. And you're right. It kind of goes back into the whole "is it milk, is it not milk" thing. But I guess we'll see what happens if it'll ever come to the stateside over here too.
Yep.
All right, so the next two are going to be all about Buffalo Trace. So they are hosting the 27th annual Holidays at the Trace celebration from December 4th through the 31st. And the event includes the signature evening experience called Spirited Nights, featuring holiday lights. Spirited Nights has also 2 unique experiences. They have the light trail experience and cocktails and cheer. The distillery will also offer a complimentary drive-through light show. And extended hours at the gift shop with new apparel, specialty gifts, and custom woodworking items.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. We should probably talk about our other holiday thing we have going on here.
Yeah.
How can we always forget to talk
The
about
Lodge at Trial and Error.
Yes.
Super. We talked about it last week.
Well, we need to keep talking about it.
Well, yeah, we'll keep talking about it. I'm excited because I want to get rid of all these Christmas decorations and put them up on walls. I've been with my wife shopping for all kinds of stuff, but it's going to be exciting. I'm excited for the cocktails. The place is going to feel magical in here, very spirited, Christmassy. Get you in the season, mood for the season.
Yeah, I just went and bought some snowshoes, vintage snowshoes off Facebook Marketplace this past week. So if you come down here and you see those snowshoes on the wall, be like, that was Kenny's $80 find right there.
Well, we bought some fake snowshoes from Hobby Lobby, and they were like $20.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, no, we'll see who wins then.
Yeah, see which ones are cooler.
But yeah, that is running from Black Friday, November 28th through January 3rd. Come and visit us at Trial and Error. It is going to be reimagined as The Lodge at Trial and Error. So all the ski themes, but a whole new holiday festive menu as well.
Yeah, buddy.
So speaking of Buffalo Trace and continuing their world domination here, they have recently held a 3-day immersive pop-up experience in Mumbai to promote its bourbon and 200-year legacy to the growing Indian market. The activation followed India's removal of retaliatory tariffs on American whiskey, and they showcase good old things like benchmark bourbon, Buffalo Trace, and Weller wheated bourbon to industry professionals and consumers. And the event featured interactive stations like a scent bar, a leather workshop, and a chocolate station, all designed to highlight the whiskey's characteristics.
Well, if you couldn't make Wyoming, you can go to Mumbai because when we were talking about it last week, they were doing like the pop-up in Wyoming where you could watch buffalo.
Yeah. It's like the most remote or deserted thing that's out there. They just put like 4 glass walls up in the middle of the field. Yeah. Oddly enough, I think India would be interesting to go to.
I'd love to go.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Indian food.
Oh, I mean, I would try it, but I need a Sherpa to take me through India though. That's for sure. Because I don't think that I would be able to survive there on my own.
Yeah, you got to take a bunch of shots too. Like if you want to go there. I remember Ben from Midwest Barrel Company had to take like all these vaccines or something to go over there and still got sick. So go get the Indian food. It's great, but you're going to get sick. That's right.
That's the moral of the story here. So this is one that I think is probably going to be more for a roundtable discussion. Now that this is official, and it's going to kind of really change the scope of what is going to happen with not only just American whiskey, but alcohol and, of course, hemp and THC. So there is a new bill that was signed into law effectively as they opened up the government at this point recriminalized most hemp-derived THC products by amending the definition of federally legal hemp. The law bans with more than 0.4 milligrams of total THC and prohibits cannabinoids synthesized from hemp-derived CBD like Delta-8 and Delta-10, including non-THC compounds marketed as having similar effects. The hemp industry now has 1 year before the ban takes effect in November 13th of 2026, which advocates are pledging to use a new regulatory legislation to avoid a full ban. Some of the key takeaways are that the ban was passed through a quick, sneaky play by inserting the language into the government funding bill. It was supported by an unusual alliance of anti-legalization advocates, they call SAM, and large corporate marijuana industry, both seeking to close the loophole in the 2018 Farm Bill. The industry impact is that saying that about right now, 90% of those non-intoxicating CBD products will be illegal because they all have 0.4 milligrams or higher per container. However, they are aiming to shift the focus from the ban to moving towards federal regulation during this 1-year implementation grace period.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think this is just the goalpost is to try to regulate it. Here are the rules. Here's where people can play. And as soon as you see this, you'll start to see a lot of investment, a lot of even more growth, because it's tough for people to get in this category not knowing where the legalities stand. And so, although the hemp industry was kind of upset about this, but I see it as a win because I think it brings it to the forefront that this is something that hasn't been addressed since 2018. We need to figure out how to regulate this substance, and I think it's good for the category. But
so, I mean, I am not like you. I'm not agricultural. Like, I don't know everything about this. So, the difference between THC and CBD, like, I see this as blurred lines.
Yep.
Because in states that have legalized marijuana, I don't understand like why you wouldn't just start advocating for more of that rather than just looking at this loophole of synthetic stuff that's going out there. I have partaken. Okay. Like, I'm not going to say that I haven't. So we've tried all the things that are here on the shelves. But I get it. It's like if we have to go through all the BS that we have to do to sell a glass of bourbon or a bottle of bourbon.
Yep.
Well, and this is at the same exact rate as being intoxicating. It's the same thing as, a pack of cigarettes. Like, all of it is part of a sin tax at the end of the day, right? Like, I think they should have the same exact amount of BS and loopholes that we have to go through.
100%.
Regulation is definitely needed because this is something that is it is an intoxicating substance. So I understand that. But I don't see how in 1 year you are going to be able to change this, to be able to make it so that the states that have legalized marijuana are cool with this. Because in my opinion, you should just start moving towards progression of legalizing marijuana, because at this point, if you're selling a can of CBD, whatever, that has 5 milligrams of THC, what's the difference of just going to a dispensary and getting the same exact can that also has 5 milligrams of THC in it, but one is through a legal means and one is through this loophole?
Right.
That's what I don't know. That's why I would push it that way.
Yeah. I mean, too, it's a confusing topic, and I'm not a weed grower or hemp grower. I did consult for a hemp farm here in Kentucky, but that was more on nutrients. I'm not sure what substances or compounds and whatnot provide each, and why one's legal, one's not. But yeah, it would make sense. Like, federally, marijuana has to get legalized. That's the big thing. It's like, right now it's still illegal, and states get to decide somehow. I don't, but it's all kind of this gray area that nobody's like can agree upon. And so I think, like you said, THC, hemp, whatever you want to call it, needs to go through the same regulatory process as alcohol. And I think that would be fair to spirits producers, tobacco producers, and I know the hemp people will be like, no. But it's crazy that when here in Kentucky, I could go to like a bar and order 2 of these things and drink them and just be like completely stoned off my ass. And like, whereas I could have 2 beers and, be completely fine. So it's crazy that this thing just it's taken this long for them to be like, all right, we got to do something about this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, in the past 2 to 3 years, it's absolutely skyrocketed.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it everywhere. And I think not only just here in Kentucky, but you see it in markets across the U.S. I agree that it needs some sort of regulation around it. It's the same exact thing that if somebody was to create non-alcoholic bourbon, but they're like, but we figured out a way to add 0.05% of some substance into it that kind of like messes with you. And then let's fast forward a couple years and they go, all right, now we can synthetically grow this other substance that kind of does something to you, but we're still selling it as non-alcoholic bourbon, but with 5 milligrams of whatever this is.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wait a minute. Like you can't do that.
Yeah. And the health aspect of it, everybody thinks weed's a safer alternative to this and that. And I mean, you have no idea, like if you make it as easy, accessible as alcohol has been, like what are the long-term consequences of marijuana and consumption and stuff. So it's like, it all needs to be under the same scrutiny as the spirits producers and alcohol beer or whatever.
Yeah. And I just thought of this, and as I just Googled it too, because obviously this is an intoxicating substance. And I said, well, what stops people from driving, right? Is there a breathalyzer for this? And first thing in Google, no, there is no current standard breathalyzer for detecting THC, whether it's in a drink or otherwise, right?
Yeah.
So
you have to pee or take a blood test, I guess.
Yeah. And I'm sure that would something that
that's what we should come up with.
That's where the money is.
Damn this spirits business. It's called THC breathalyzer.
Well, speaking of breathalyzers, there's 3 men from Cincinnati that are getting in trouble, and I'm not going to put their names out here, but they're 19 and 20 years old, and they're facing multiple charges following a break-in and a chase over at Castle Key Distillery. That happened over in Versailles. That was back on August 23rd. Authorities report the suspects, who were allegedly under the influence, broke into the facility and stole just one bottle of bourbon.
A bottle.
During the incident, though, they are accused of damaging a delivery truck and attempting to escape using a company golf cart, which also resulted in damage to its ignition. The suspects were eventually captured after a 2-hour manhunt across the property. I think manhunt's a little far-fetched here. One of them faces charges including burglary, criminal mischief, and public intoxication. The other 2 face similar charges, including fleeing and evading law enforcement. A fourth was also charged with an alcohol misdemeanor for being passed out and found in the vehicle, while a 5th suspect escaped but was later identified via a recovered GoPro camera.
Yeah, the video on this is hilarious. It reminds me of like when you're young and dumb and you're like going and egging houses or,
yeah.
So it's like,
can't do shit anymore because of all these Ring cameras everywhere.
Exactly. But it's funny. They went through all this effort for a bottle, but if you watch it, I mean, these kids had to be on like psychedelics or something. It's just a funny video.
I don't think they were on psychedelics. I'm pretty sure they were just drunk. And then it's probably one of the first times they've ever gotten in trouble. And they're like, oh, listen, I'm just going to lay it all out there for you. I'm going to tell you the truth. This is what did he say? Like, we were just bored or something like that?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kids. I don't know. Just kids doing dumb things.
Yep. It was funny. But not that they broke in, but anywho.
Honestly, I thought the most hilarious part was there was just a guy that was also charged because he was passed out in the car
yeah.
and because he was just too drunk. He didn't even go and do anything.
He's like, they just brought me here.
I know. How mad would you be at your friends and be like, you jackasses?
This kidnapped me. Got me in trouble.
All right. That's going to be it for the news, but stick around. We got bourbon release news coming up. Hey everybody, bourbon release news time, and just a couple ones to go through here. And this first one is our friends over at New Riff. It's getting a little chilly outside, so what better way than to release your winter whiskey and sherry finish malted rye for the holidays? And these can be available for purchase beginning on Black Friday, November 28th. Winter whiskey is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey made with malted oats and chocolate malt, bottled in bond, 100 proof, at least 4 years. It was first introduced back in 2022, which was New Riff's Sherry Finish Malted Rye. This is bottled at barrel strength without chill filtration and also aged secondarily in an Oloroso and Pedro Ximénez sherry casks. Winter whiskey and Sherry Finish Malted Rye have a suggested retail price of $60 and $70 respectively, and those will be available again starting Friday, November 28th.
Yeah, the last sherry cask was pretty special. It was really good.
Was it? I can't remember. I can't keep all these damn things straight anymore.
I know, but I remember that one because it was really good.
Oh, well.
The winter one, I'm kind of like, malted oats and this and that. I mean, I'm sure it's interesting, but not my cup of tea.
Hey, they release a lot of good stuff. So.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a lot of New Riff fans out there too, so I'm sure they're going to it'll just be swooped up in no time.
No doubt.
Yep.
The Rangers.
Yeah. Speaking of some other kind of, we'll call it flavored, I'll kind of skip down here. So Chattanooga Whiskey has announced batch 46. You know what they did that was really smart is that they put their batches with a 0 in the front. Kind of like when we started Bourbon Pursuit. I said, we're going to start off with episode 001. I have a feeling we're going to make it to episode 100, Ryan.
Yeah.
I have a feeling
81. So
yeah, I feel like they're going to make it to episode
I doubt we
100.
make it next year, but
What?
To
episode
100. 100.
100 what?
Well, never mind.
No, I meant Bourbon Pursuit. Like our episodes are like 001.
Bourbon Pursuit. I thought you were talking about the Pursuit series.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, we
went
did
over my head.
We did that one as well. I did that one on purpose
Yeah.
to make sure it was started with a 0 because I knew eventually we would reach it.
Yep.
Anyway, batch 046 is a spiced cacao infused bourbon. I don't know what it is. Let me see. It's the newest release in the award-winning experimental series and their experimental single batch series. Sorry about that. Inspired by the Aztec drink Chocolatol. Zocolatol?
Ooh.
It's the Exo chocolate, whatever it's called.
Yeah. I think we had a series named after that. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Finger Lakes barrel.
Yeah, you did that. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Batch 46.
It's like a chocolate hot cocoa.
It remarks the return of a fan favorite, which was experimental batch 28, which was also cacao infused, like its predecessor. Batch 46 was also infused with whole cocoa nibs, cinnamon sticks, and vanilla beans, but this time also sees the addition of 2 varieties of dried chilies, Gabajido and Pasilla. I'm guessing that's
Great varieties.
Yeah, that's the best. So all natural infusion. As a bourbon liqueur, this batch brings together 3 select high rye malt and wheated malt mash bills that were distilled in combination of pot and column stills. And this will be available starting November 20th. Well, it's already available now that you're listening to this, starting at $55 a bottle.
Sounds tasty. I love Mexican hot chocolate.
And it's also 85 proof.
Oh, there you go. Drink more of it.
I know. They keep coming out with these flavored whiskeys. I'm kind of curious, like, as part of Bourbon Pursuit, like, do we keep talking about flavored whiskey on here? Is it bourbon news? Is it bourbon release news to talk about flavored bourbon?
I think so.
I don't know. Kind of having like this
It's
this internal struggle zen moment here.
It's no different than maple or honey finished.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then why aren't you just like getting a bunch of cacao and vanilla beans and throwing them in barrels at this
I don't
point,
know.
Ryan?
I should. I got too much shit going on, Kenny.
All right. Well,
this sounds complicated.
It does sound complicated. We'll see.
Yeah, me going to Whole Foods and it's like Top Chef. What herbs and shit can I throw in here now?
Yeah, I guess so. You're like,
I got a Penzi Spices.
the first ever parsley infused bourbon.
That's right.
Coming to you from Pursuit. All right, 2 more here. Morningside Brands has partnered with the platinum-selling country music artist Riley Green to launch Duck Club Bourbon. This new premium whiskey brand is centered on the tradition of waterfowl hunting and outdoors. And Green is serving as a co-founder, emphasizing the brand honors the lifestyle he loves to support while protecting the North American wetlands. Duck Club Bourbon launches with 2 initial expressions. You have their 92 proof, which is a 4-grain blend of 5 to 6-year-old bourbons priced at $30. And then you have their 110 proof called High Brass, 5 to 8-year Kentucky straight bourbons priced at $40. It's going to be launching in 7 states and planned for more expansion in 2026.
That's cool. It's smart. Duck Club, there's a lot of duck hunters. I love duck hunting. I'm not a big deer hunter. I love bird hunting. So like duck, pheasant, quail.
Is it because it's more challenging?
No, it's just more active. You're like walking, in a field or you're in a blind and there's a lot more action. Instead of deer hunting, you're sitting in a tree and standing.
Urine all over you and you're just waiting.
Yeah, you're just waiting, freezing, just kind of patiently. And this is more for my ADD mind. Think of Duck Hunt on Nintendo. It's like bam, bam, bam.
I love that dog.
Yeah, duck hunting's awesome.
Except for when he gets out from behind the bush and laughs at you because you keep missing.
That's right.
What a dick.
You missed a lot, huh?
I was pretty good when you're 3 inches away from the screen.
Yeah, that's you're like, guy put a red line for Kenny. Stand this far back. But it's, you kind of seen this. It's a smart, like, not only like Duck Club's a, popular, category just with hunters and this and that, but also throwing Riley Green in there. So it's instead of like just starting your own brand, and try to build that, it's like, all right, this already has like some name recognition things that consumers can, get behind. You saw Monk's Road do it with Remington. They partnered with them.
Like was Remington like
it's a shotgun or
that's what I
rifle
thought.
and gun company.
I don't own a gun and I hate guns, so obviously I don't.
Well, then
I don't
you're
know
not
much
buying
about
that.
it.
But a lot of people do.
not my forte, I guess you could say. But go ahead.
But no, it's just kind of smart because you're not having to build a brand, tell a story. There's already one kind of built into it that people say like, oh, I love duck hunting, and I like rattle.
I like guns. Go give me some more of that whiskey. I love guns.
And the price point on these is crazy.
It's too low.
And we know the person behind this, so we know it's going to be really good.
It should be pretty good. It should be pretty good. All right, get your guns, get your duck club, get your high brass for $40.
Or Duck Hunt Nintendo out.
Or we can do that. But I don't think they don't work with today's TVs.
I know. You can find like adapters and stuff.
Can you? Have you really looked? I don't really think you can find an adapter.
I got one with well, this is for a Wii. I had to get an adapter for my Wii to hook it up to my TV and it worked.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they had Duck Hunt on the Wii.
Yeah, Wii Sports. They didn't have Duck Hunt, but they had like tennis and basketball, bowling.
That has nothing to do with Duck Hunt.
Well, I know, but you're saying Nintendo won't work on new TVs. It'll work.
Well, no, Duck Hunt won't because it required a CRT TV to be able to. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it just had a sensor.
No, it required a CRT TV.
Never mind. I'm a dumbass.
I know. Hey, good thing you got the tech guy here.
Why would I challenge a tech guy?
All right, here's our last one. Is that Rabbit Hole is introducing Amrûlé. And this is a new limited edition distillery series finished in, you guessed it, maple brulee barrels.
Ooh.
Goulet. The expression elevates their signature sour mash rye, allowing the spirit to rest in custom maple brulee barrels. The maple seasoning and high-intensity char creates a smoky, dark caramel veil inside the barrel. Amrûlé is available exclusively at the distillery starting on November 25th, and this does not have a proof or a price on it. So, sorry, that's all I got.
I went to a dinner at Rabbit Hole this summer, and they had Mish cater it. It was awesome, but they had like a bunch of different. They had the maple brulee one, and it was actually really good. Very subtle maple, more along the lines of like creme brulee and this and that. It was nice.
I like it. I like Mish as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Noam. He's got a great thing going on there. The bottling proof is 104.4. But that's about all I can get on this. I don't see a price tag anywhere. So it's free. No, I lied. It's right here. It's at the very end. $50. $50. That might be the cheapest release that Rabbit Hole's ever come out with. Because
that's not one of their like core products. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It was like most of them are like $1,500 sometimes. So I'll give it a shot at $50.
Me too.
Might as well. All right, that is it. That is This Week in Bourbon.
That's
I appreciate
it. That was quick.
I know. But 30 minutes in, but hey, we made it happen. So with that, thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you come and check out the Lodge at Trial and Error starting on Black Friday, November 28th. We're looking forward to it. Ryan and I will be decorating here relatively soon.
I guess we won't have a Thanksgiving release, will we?
To record for next week?
Or maybe we will.
I mean, we might. We got time next week, so we'll see if anybody actually has any news. That's the big one.
We'll just make it up.
That's what we do anyway.
That's right.
With that, cheers, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Toodles.